let's proceed with another topic. So our next presenter for today is Dr. Alma Madraso. Dr. Madraso is an educator, an executive, and an ASEAN certified energy manager. She has managed operations of global companies in the Philippines, such as IECOM and Tita Trek operations, and has continued to be part of the academic world since 1978. Dr. Madraso has more than 30 years of experience in environmental and waste management, impact assessment, hazardous waste management, soil and groundwater remediation, project management, and regulatory and policy development. She is the Board of Trustees of Energy Efficiency Practitioners Associations of the Philippines. She is also the Vice President of the Philippine Chambers of Renewable Energy Incorporated. She was the former Country Director of the United States Asia Environment Partnerships in the Philippines. She was an industry expert for environment and water technologies for the European Union Business Avenue in Southeast Asia in 2019, and President and CEO of Inby Consultants Incorporated, a consulting company offering solutions to compliant and future fit companies. Right now, she is connected with the National Graduate School of Engineering, University of the Philippines. My friends, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to present to you Dr. Alma Villa Madraso. Alma? Hello, Alma.
Hi, good morning. Wait, sharing my screen. Can you see my screen now?
Not yet. Okay, fine.
Okay.
Yes, you're.
Okay. So good morning to all of you. I can see there are about 72 participants, to the speakers, and I would like to congratulate the Philippine-American Academy of Science and Engineering on its anniversary and for this scientific meeting. I am very honored to participate in this session. We all know that access to energy is key to human and economic development because electricity is important to improve the living standards and alleviate poverty, especially in developing countries like the Philippines. But we all know that historical and current energy systems are dominated by fossil fuels and produce carbon dioxide, which are greenhouse gases and makes energy sector the dominant contributor to climate change. In fact, 60% of the greenhouse gas emitted comes from the energy sector. These carbon emissions contribute to global warming that leads to extreme climate events. To avoid these disastrous effects of climate change, our world needs to transition to sustainable energy sources. So my topic today is giving you an overview of the role of AI in the transition to sustainable energy sources. In addressing our problems, application of new and emerging technologies such as AI could help provide solutions not only to major environmental problems, but it can help improve the renewable energy system performance. There are two major drivers in this transition, in our goal to transition. Number one is the Sustainable Development Goal number 7, which is affordable and clean energy, trying to ensure that everyone will have access to affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy for all. And then we have the country's commitment, the different countries who committed to the Paris Climate Agreement. And you know that in this agreement, we try to, the framework is to avoid dangerous climate change by limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius and pursue efforts to limit it further to 1.5 degrees Celsius. So there is really a need to transition from using pollutive energy sources to clean energy sources. And when you talk of clean energy sources, we are actually talking about renewable energy. Renewable energy has become a competitive alternative to the conventional fossil fuels that we use. And the energy sector, being a big contributor to the greenhouse gas emissions, should become part of the solution by phasing out fossil fuels and transitioning to sustainable and clean energy systems. The need to transition is important because global warming leads to extreme weather events, and these extreme weather events includes heavy rain or strong typhoons that causes heavy rainfalls, resulting to flooding, resulting to extreme high temperatures that brings about forest fires, droughts that affects our agriculture, that affects our food supply, and in other countries, they they experience extreme cold weathers as well. So the need to transition to clean energy is really imperative. And to avoid the destructive climate change, the world needs to transition to using renewables. The fastest growing energy source in the world is renewable energy, often referred to as clean energy, and that comes from natural sources or processes that are constantly replenished. And most popular of these are solar, hydro, wind, geothermal, and biomass. And these five most popular renewables are also currently being used here in our country. Why do we need renewable energy? As I mentioned earlier, we have to do away with fossil fuels, not only because it's a dirty fuel, but it is finite. We can like use or consume uh, coal in the next 100 or so years, and we can consume oil. But renewables, it can be replenished. Carbon emissions is another reason why we need renewables. The carbon emission, which are greenhouse gases, contribute to the global warming resulting to climate change. Another thing is energy security and economic stability. So as we said, when we have carbon emissions, greenhouse gas, we have climate change, we have also pollution coming from dirty fuels, the fossil fuels, which causes environmental damage. The global warming causes the melting of the ice caps or the glaciers and causes flooding in a lot of places. So environmental damage is there, and the pollution, the dirty air pollution, is affecting the health of people. So that is really becoming very important for us to start transitioning to using sustainable and clean energy sources. Now, why is this AI in the picture? Artificial intelligence in environmental protection includes machine learning for protecting the oceans, doing monitoring works, and doing conservation works. Professor Marcelo Ang laid the groundwork of the discussion for today, which is about artificial intelligence, machine learning, and all that. So I would like to thank him for setting the tone. So AI techniques are beneficial for environmental analysis because it can process huge amount of data, which can be used to quickly draw conclusion and make analysis, which may not be that easy for humans to do. Humans can do the analysis, but in terms of analyzing a huge amount of data, we need the help of technology. AI-enabled environmental protection system monitors and reduces the amount of energy consumption. It can reduce the amount of water usage, which will help preserve these resources. AI can be used in energy management, water management, carbon footprints management, and global warming. So, both fundamental and applied research are leveraging artificial intelligence to revolutionize not only the environmental protection sector, but also in the industry regarding renewable energy. From a report of the Global Status Report done by REN21, presented in the ASEAN Clean Energy Forum just last June, they mentioned all this, how to advance the energy transition, what is needed to advance the energy transition. Now, all of these are good. Set ambitious targets, create the right market conditions, accelerate investment, encourage sector integration, align policies, come up with energy efficiency measures, support job creation, and build social acceptance. But these are all good. But what they failed to mention is the need for advancements in technology. With the advancement in technology, the renewable energy sector has made significant progress in the last decade. In 2018, renewables supplied an estimated 26% of global electricity from the REN 21 Global Status Report of 2019. However, despite this growth, there are still a few challenges in this sector that can be addressed with the help of emerging technologies. Technologies like artificial intelligence or AI and machine learning can help in energy forecasting. It can improve energy efficiency and energy accessibility. Now, these are just the definition of terms. When you talk of AI, I know all of you knows about this, but just so it is a wide-ranging branch of computer science concerned with building smart machines capable of performing tasks that typically require human intelligence. Then we have machine learning, which is an application of artificial intelligence that provides systems the ability to automatically learn and improve from experience without being explicitly programmed. And then there's another thing that is now like becoming the buzzword, Internet of Things. It's like interrelating all these devices that we have. And this is important also in the creation of smart cities, which is now the goal of every developed country, having smart cities. Researchers and companies are exploring how AI could assist in improving accessibility and efficiency of the renewable energy technology. These emerging technologies operate within three renewable energy spheres. First is in energy forecasting, where industry data is used to train AI algorithms to make accurate forecasts, helping to inform power supply and demand. Energy efficiency is another sphere where AI is used to track and optimize energy efficiency. And then energy accessibility, where AI is used to model utility cost savings and provide recommendations for smart home investments. AI applications can transform the renewable energy through the increased efficiency, which in turn will fuel the growth of the sector and hopefully accelerates its adoption. We can also use AI to help mitigate the challenges posed by inconsistent weather conditions to the green energy source. Because as we all know, solar and wind are very dependent on the weather conditions. The growth of installed renewable energy generation capacity, recently the growth, has triggered a paradigm shift with a move from traditional based power generation sources to the now lower cost renewable energy sources of wind and solar power, but are fundamentally driven by the weather. As the energy industry continues to utilize more valuable generation sources, with AI and smart machines, weather predictions can help improve the efficiency of RE. Accurate forecasts of power generations and net loads are essential to maintain system reliability, to minimize carbon emissions, and maximize renewable energy sources. So the implementation of the new AI-based approaches would improve renewable energy systems performance. The opportunities have been created for collaboration between electrical and AI researchers to design and develop technologies to improve modeling and parameters estimation, net load forecasting, line loss predictions, maintaining system reliability, energy efficiency, renewable energy operations, and integrating hybrid solar and battery storage systems, predicting equipment failure and decision process of grid operators. These are some of the uses of AI in renewable energy systems. To summarize, solar and wind power recently crossed a new threshold, moving from a mainstream to a preferred energy source globally. As we reach price and performance parity with conventional sources and demonstrate their ability to enhance the grid, it has become increasingly competitive via new technologies. So the deployment obstacles and ceilings are dissolving. Solar and wind power are now among the cheapest energy sources globally, and it has much farther to go because the enabling trends have not even run their full course yet, and costs are continuing to fall. Successful integration is proceeding fast, and with the new technologies that are bringing even greater efficiencies and capabilities. So renewables, the demand for renewables is growing. Solar and wind power now comes closest to meeting three of the energy consumer priorities, which is reliability, affordability, and environmental responsibility. So actually, when you talk about the emerging markets that will see the most significant growth in electricity demand as they develop or electrify, have leapfrogged into a position of solar and wind leadership, making the case for renewables even stronger. So ladies and gentlemen, I end my presentation. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Alma. That is very enlightening presentations. It really shows that AI is all around, even in sustainable energy. Now, in the interest of time, supposed to be we have a question and answer portion, but since we are late, may I ask the participants to throw all your questions in the chat box, and I'm sure the speakers will be happy to answer it. So